Brothers, all I got to say is this: if your woman withholds sex from you, throw her in the trash can and find a new woman. If your woman withholds sex from you, leave her. I don't care how good she look. Because women use sex as a weapon. And here's a prime example of one of them doing it. Let's get to the court case.
Plaintiff Geneva Culp met the defendant on a blind date, and 2 years later, they got married. But 2 weeks into the marriage, she discovered the defendant was cheating. Geneva is suing her ex-husband for the balance due on a loan. Defendant Marquise Wilburn admits that their marriage ended because he cheated on Geneva, but he says it's because she withheld sex. Marquise does not believe he owes Geneva for anything.
All right, tell me what happened.
Okay, well, first we met in, I believe, 2003. Blind date.
Who hooked that up for you? Your friend?
My cousin, his friend.
Okay.
And initially I saw him tall, good looking, great. If I would have knew 2 weeks after we got married that I would have found out he was cheating on me.
How long did you know him before you all were married?
2 years.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How did you find he was cheating 2 years later?
Going through, I found an email, explicit emails from between him and the person he was cheating with.
And it was clear that they were cheating?
Very clear.
Object,
Very
Your
clear.
Honor.
What do you want to say?
Brothers, these detectives that like to go through your phone because they got all this intuition, they never use their intuition when it comes to them finding a man. But as soon as their intuition kicks in, always thinking that you cheating, because I don't believe the brother was cheating. I believe that he was exploring his options. That's what I believe. But I could be wrong. But I believe he was exploring his options, not cheating. Black men don't cheat. But let's continue.
Wasn't clear. You all were speaking in code, so it wasn't clear. You and the would-be mistress.
Cheating. I wasn't cheating.
Oh, okay. The email she's referring to, have you ever heard this allegation?
No, sir.
This is the first time?
I wasn't cheating.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you if this is the first time you ever heard of this email she's referring to?
Yes, sir.
All right, first time is today.
No, it's not.
Go ahead.
Brothers, when you're in court, make sure you answer the question. Stop dodging around the question because now you're looking like a liar. Come on, man. Black man, stop. Just answer the question. Stop dodging around the questions. Let's continue.
Well, he says it is. All right.
But I found out he was cheating 2 weeks after we were married, and we had just got back from the Bahamas. Beautiful trip with the islands and everything. So the last thing I thought I was going to come back to, the last thing I thought I was going to come back to was drama. But I called her because I knew he would have that kind of mentality to say he didn't do it.
You called who?
I called
the
the
one.
girl.
How did you get her number?
Through the email. I actually emailed her. She sent me her number. We talked for probably about a week, and then we set him up on a three-way call.
Okay. All right. And what happened on that call?
On that call, she called him, and then I told her to act like I wasn't on the phone, and he talked like they would normally, was on his way over there. Then I jumped in. I said, "Hey, Mr. Wilburn, this is Mrs. Wilburn." He hung up the phone. And then came home about an hour later.
Okay.
Object, Your Honor.
All right.
If the glove don't fit, you must acquit, all right? Here we go.
Did she have communications with anyone and they call you together?
I don't remember that.
All right, you don't remember that ever happening?
No, sir.
Okay, why did you all break up?
Well, we did break up because I was cheating.
You just told me a second ago that you weren't cheating. So
That's
let's
not
get
how
to
it happened,
this.
though, Your Honor.
I understand. Go ahead, ma'am. What else you want me to know? Let's get to how he owes you for a loan.
Well, in 2005, his job was a little further, not around the corner. So he talked me into getting a motorcycle, and his reason was because it would save on gas. And I totally
married?
agreed. We weren't married. We were dating, but I was very in love with him, saw a future with him, so I didn't have any problem with going on this loan with him in order to further our future that I had saw. We got married, continued with the payments all after he lost his job, which is why he got the motorcycle in the first place. But after he lost that job, payments became very inconsistent while he was looking for a job. So I took on those payments.
Brothers, let me say this. If you got a good woman on your side, don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. If you know that you want to have more than one woman, you need to let that woman know from the get go. Don't don't wait until you get married and then you start doing your dirt. It's you don't need to be doing that. I hate I know people say that I say bad things, but there are some good women out there, and if you got a good one, take very good care of her. Cause I promise you, she'll take care of you. For her to buy this guy a motorcycle, she seems like a good woman. And I don't want to say ride or die, but the dude didn't. Maybe his job wasn't stable, so she was still willing to help take care of him. But y'all brothers, y'all got to stop. I know the world looks bad, brothers, but if you got a good woman on your side, take very good care of her, and I promise you, she'll take good care of you. Let's continue.
And it's been that way since, just the whole inconsistency. But
You all were husband and wife during that time, right?
Well, not the whole time. In the beginning, that's why the only part that I'm suing him for is what the balance is after the divorce, which was June of 2008.
You, sir.
All right. Yes, we did meet through a hookup. A good friend of mine at the time, he was dating her cousin. Nice looking girl. So you know how it goes. Hey, does she got a friend? Type deal. And she was like, yeah, she got a cute little, cousin or whatever. And I was like, all right, hook that up. And it did right away. She came over like an hour later and we met. And it was, it was cool. Sparks pretty much right away. Like 3 months later, she said, hey, I want to have a baby with you. And usually I'm like, I'm gone right away. Cause it's like, no, I didn't have any kids at the time. And I had been asked that a few times before. But, I knew I wanted to marry her. I knew I wanted to be with her.
But you weren't ready to have children.
No, I said yeah, and we got started right away.
Okay. All right.
And a year later, May 19th.
But you intended to marry her?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. May 19th of 2004, our daughter arrived. I loved her. But before that, though, she had a daughter whom I treated like my own daughter, which included buying things for her, taking her around, picking her up from school, all the stuff like that.
Brothers, don't believe what a lot of these women saying. There are men, plenty of black men that will still help take care of your child. And I'm talking about the child that doesn't belong to him. So I don't know where these women be talking about how men don't want to help take care of a single mother or don't want to be with a single mother. That's a lie. There are men that will still be with single mothers. Now, what I will say is that dating a single mother can be dangerous, but, hey, you got to evaluate that woman at the end of the day, brothers. You got to evaluate her because you don't know what type of relationship she has with the father. And you don't even know how bad that child could be. A bastard child, could be a crazy child. But at the end of the day, brothers, these women that's talking about that men ain't dating single mothers, that's a lie. There are a lot of men that are dating, in relationship, and even marrying these single mothers. But I'm just telling you, find out about the father. Find out what his relationship is with the child. Yes, Mugga.
General had his hand up first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, brothers. It's a lot of men out there who are taking on the responsibilities of married single mothers, but don't be that guy. Just start your own family. It's too much of a risk. It's too much of a headache. And then say if you separate from that woman, then she gonna take away the kids from you who you grew to love, and you have really no say so over those kids to even visit them. So I say, hey, if you want to do that, that's fine. But I say start your own family. Find a woman who ain't got no kids, and then where you could build your legacy there.
Yes, Mugga.
Okay, so I wanted to say that women are saying that men don't want to take care of kids. That's what men are saying. Men are the ones that saying they don't want no single mothers, like you just heard General say, right? That's what the men are saying. I think that women know that there are men out here who are willing to take on them and their children. And also, I don't feel like we should be saying everybody's not a single mother or a single parent. They just separated from the father of their child or the mother of their child, but that doesn't mean that the parent isn't prevalent in their child's life. So I wouldn't even say single mothers. Like, I'm done.
Okay. Let's continue.
And a year after that, we had gotten married in 2006. And it seemed like, you know, when we came back from the honeymoon, it was like, I mean, at first we was at it like rabbits. When we came back from the honeymoon, it was like, boom, stop.
What happened on the honeymoon?
Cheated.
Excuse me, please don't object.
What
me, please,
happened
young
on
lady.
the honeymoon? Do you believe that caused that?
Well, I'll tell you. First of all, her whole family had came on the honeymoon, so it wasn't as sweet as she's saying it was. All right, kids had came, so it wasn't like, you know, a lot of alone time. But we asked.
Object, Your Honor.
No one came on the honeymoon.
Well,
with
we
you?
did. Everything was simultaneous.
Other people came on the honeymoon with
Well,
you.
we had our own suite.
Yes or no, ma'am? Did other people come on the honeymoon?
You see how she can't even answer direct. Did other people come on the honeymoon? That only requires a yes or no answer. Now she wants to go into story mode. But let's see how the story mode goes.
We were there
Your
at the
Honor,
family trip.
everybody was there.
Go
Her
ahead.
grandma was even
She
there.
had finally,
You know.
she finally admits that a lot of people were on the honeymoon
And
with you guys.
her mom had told us, like, hey, okay, look, y'all, you know, I'm gonna let y'all have a little alone time. You know, I understand y'all just got married and everything like that, but Moms was having fun on the boat. So Moms was like, look, that's y'all kids. I ain't watching no kids on this. We ain't even get a chance to consummate.
You all were strapped down with kids.
Yeah. So, you know, and that pretty much set the tone for the rest of the marriage, you know, because it was like when she would get mad about something, she would use sex as a weapon. And I mean, that ain't cool.
That's true.
Because
Did y'all hear that? He said that she uses sex as a weapon, and she answered and said, that's true. Do you know how many sexless marriages there are in America? A lot. Over 50% of marriages in America are sexless marriages. Women use sex as a weapon to get the man to do what she wants him to do. So then guess what? That causes the man to go out and find somebody else to sleep with. I don't have a problem with polygamy, brothers. To be honest with you, I think men should have more than one woman. If you can deal with more than one headache, hey, go ahead and deal with it. Let's continue, because the judge is going to ask her.
So that's true?
right.
Huh? You said that's true?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
one
she
of you
like-
got a woman. I would have too.
No, it
like-
I would have
wasn't.
got a woman too. If
No,
you're going to
Your
hold
Honor.
off on me
No,
just
it
because.
wasn't.
Yeah, you admitted it. That's what you just said. Talking about when you didn't get what you wanted, you would cut him off for sex.
No.
Please.
I was saying not true to get
Please,
any. Not
go
holding
ahead.
out.
It was like no playtime, Your Honor.
Dang.
You
You see how she tried to explain, and it now she said true. Now she wants to explain why. That's crazy. That's crazy, brothers. Once the woman starts using sex as a weapon, it's time for her to go. Because a lot of men ain't gonna tolerate that. A lot of men are not gonna tolerate. But for some reason, the so-called black men, we tolerate a lot from black women. You think she's gonna do that to another person or another race? She would have got the boot, thrown the trash can. On to the next one. But let's continue.
you know, when she would get mad about something, right? And so we had came up to a stretch of like a month. And, you know, we guys, so we know when was the last time we, you know. And it was like a month. I was like, in real life, a
And it
month?
wasn't because she lacked desire. It was because she was intentionally punishing you.
Being mean with it.
That is
Your Honor,
terrible.
Your
And
Honor.
you don't deserve to be
No,
married.
I
Okay,
apologize
hold on. Wait,
for
it's
the
still my turn.
confusion. That's not what I meant.
Oh, okay. You didn't do it as you didn't deny him as punishment.
I wasn't giving it to him because I didn't trust him.
Okay, that's
Honor.
two different things.
Your Honor.
The sensation and the
Your Honor.
desire and the
Comes some
She's
trust.
cutting me off,
it
sir.
wasn't there. I
Gotcha.
didn't want to lay next to a man and I didn't know who he
Okay,
had laid
that's
to next to
understandable.
last night.
Tell me what happened. other than you wasn't giving him any. That's all he
No,
was focusing
I
on.
was not.
His mind is still there.
It is. It is.
You must have whipped it on him at some point.
Your Honor.
It
No, it
left
was
his
like,
mind.
Your Honor, it was like Burger King, have it my way, asking you shall receive at first, like McDonald's, I was loving it. But
on you.
yeah.
And like she said, though, because she didn't trust you, sir. You know why she switched up, because she didn't trust you. All right, the
Go
loan.
back to the loan.
Now, you saying he owes you now subsequent to the divorce, right?
Exactly. And I actually have the divorce decree here.
All right, sir. Well, she's going to show me the divorce decree saying that you owe. What
It's
is your
highlighted
defense?
that it says for husband, the city financial debt that he
I
would
see.
take what's owed.
Sir?
Well, Your Honor, in the divorce, I didn't ask for nothing, okay? We had a house, we had a duplex. I left without anything. I mean, like in Wisconsin, I guess I got 50% rights to almost everything. I didn't ask for nothing. I just asked for the clothes out the closet that were mine and my electronic.
That's real crazy. 50%. I don't know how long they were married, but that's kind of crazy. And it's a lot of states like that. A brother could work hard for his assets. He gets married. She files for divorce, and then she could take half if she didn't work for anything. And this is why I say that it's no benefits for a man to get married. None. Nobody could tell me what the benefit is of getting married for a man. Because once you get divorced, and we all know that over 70% of divorces are filed by women, you're over here struggling. By the time you're done paying, you over here living in a shack, while the woman is living lavishly off of what you worked hard for, brothers. So, brothers, I don't advise you to get married. Marriage is not good, at least not in America. But yes, how may I help you?
I just think it's disingenuous to make it seem as if she wasn't helping him when he was unemployed. She already said that she was helping him when he was unemployed. She was taking over the payment. She was doing stuff. He literally already said that he was unemployed at a certain point in time in the relationship. So it's not like he's just doing all this work and then when she leaves, she gets half and she hasn't done anything. She literally took over payments. And if she took over payments for a motorcycle and he wasn't working, then who was paying the rent? Who was paying the mortgage? Who was paying the bills? Because it wasn't him. So whatever she's leaving with, I think that that's okay. I don't get why that would be an issue in their situation. Now, every other situation that you're talking about, I guess, where women don't do anything, okay, I guess. But at the same time, it's like she was there when he didn't have anything, when he wasn't working. So whatever she gets, she deserves it.
I agree with that. I was looking at this too as if she bought him a motorcycle, wouldn't that be considered a gift? But again, brothers, I don't know. Y'all just gotta be black men. Y'all gotta protect yourself at the end of the day. We gotta protect ourselves. I'm not saying, and even now, these prenuptial agreements don't even work. So I don't really suggest for brothers to get, or at least let me rephrase that, sign the contract. Go do a ceremony inside somebody's church, but don't sign the contract. Yes, sir.
I was asking you, did the video skip? Because we didn't get any content on what happened when they cheated.
No, the video didn't skip.
Backstory.
No, the video didn't skip.
Okay.
The reason, well, according to him, he said the reason why he cheated is because she wasn't, she denied him sex, she actually said true. Yes, that she said it is true that she denied him sex. So, that's why I was saying, like, if your woman denies you sex, you need to go ahead and let her go, because there's going to be a problem. Because a lot of women do use sex as a weapon. But again, brothers, I don't advise you to get married. I don't, or at least don't sign the contract. And if you do want to do a prenuptial agreement, go ahead. And if she refuses to sign it, that means she doesn't love you anyway. Because most women, they say they marry you off of love. So if she doesn't want to sign the prenuptial agreement because she don't love you. Let's continue.
And I left with a good frame of mind.
You changed your mind after?
No. I thought the judge said, okay, listen, you can have the house, you can have the duplex, you can even have the truck. I thought the City Financial was hers too.
No, it clearly
Did
states.
you read the divorce decree?
No, sir.
All right, let me point it out to you. It says to be paid by husband, and it says City Financial. It says the following debts and liabilities shall be paid by the party indicated. This is your first time reading it. In the future,
Brothers, a lot of men do not read their divorce decree. They will put stuff in there and you won't even read it and won't even know that you have that there's certain things you got to pay for. So I'm telling you that brothers, when you go to court and you're fighting against a woman, you're also fighting against the state. Just keep that in mind. So most of the time you're in a lose-lose situation. You're not in a win-win situation. Even if you have the best lawyer, because it even comes to the point where sometimes her lawyer, if she has a lawyer, you might have to pay for her lawyer fees too. So brothers, make sure that you read your divorce decree before you sign anything, because they'll put stuff in there that you didn't even see. And next you know, you out here paying for stuff that you didn't even know nothing about. Protect yourself, so-called black man. Or better yet, don't get married. Let's continue.
future, when you get a divorce, make sure you read the decree. In fact, if you get a court order of any type, you might want to read it. That's important.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Now we know. See, we wouldn't have to come this far if he had read it. On the other hand, you wouldn't be asking for $4,900 had you read it. It says $3,000.
And that was the $3,000 was.
The $3,000 is what the judge ordered he pay.
That's because it's
Whatever
two
the
different.
reason, that's what the judge said. Did you debate the reason with the judge?
No, they asked for the amount because it was already $2,000. We had already been to loan 2 years. That $3,000 was become from the original $5,000. So that was without interest. That was without penalties.
Did you tell the judge all of that?
No, I did not.
That's what you had to do. You should have brought that up then, and the judge would have listened to what you're saying and taken it into consideration. And then if you want to change the judge's decision, you appeal. Or if you didn't give some information that you later got a hold of, then you go back to that judge and you motion to amend the judge's order.
Okay.
You say, I have new evidence, judge, that showed that it should have been more than $3,000. It should have been $4,960,
Okay.
Judge.
Okay.
Say, Judge Mathis gave me $3,000. That's what I'm gonna give to enforce this order. And then you say, but I'm still owed $1,960, Judge, and here is why. And so I'm petitioning for an amended order. So in addition to this $3,000, I want you to order him to pay $1,960 so I can go back to Judge Mathis and he can enforce this $1,960. And he'll also get a chance to look at my cute self some more. I'm just messing with him.
Judge Mathis?
Yes.
That's not my problem anymore.
That's
you
right.
Look at her all you want.
See, I can look all I want.
Yes, sir.
No, I'm not like that anyhow. That's Doyle. $3,000 for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
Listen, brothers. Listen, I honestly believe he had a good woman. And she was willing to help take care of him because he wasn't doing very well, probably financially. Now, but then she was able to also she tried to control him through sex. And I guess he wasn't having it. So I don't know who filed for divorce, but brothers, no woman should be controlling you over sex. No woman should be controlling you for sex. So once a woman starts to use once a woman starts to use sex as a weapon to get you to do stuff, it's time for her to go. You got to let her go. because it's almost to the point where you should never have to beg your woman for sex. Never. Because it could almost, and it should never come down to rape, but you should never beg her for sex. Never. Just go ahead and move on, brothers. Tell her that it's time to go. Use the sex as a weapon, you gotta go. But that's pretty much it, brothers. That's pretty much it.